Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. We are in the building right now. Mike D on this side here. We got a lot of topics to cover on this Mic Check Monday. Ron over here by my side as well. You guys might know him as cameraman.
What up? What up? What up, Mike? What's going on, brother?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Volume and everything good. I want to make sure.
Man, I saw the comment. We going on the same time as Rap Table. What's going on?
It's my round table now. That wasn't planned or anything. You know what I'm saying? We had this time set, and the people can kind of go back and forth whatever they want to do. But shout out to Rap Roundtable. Got love for those guys, man. I love what they're doing over there. Shout out to Fresh Out as well, and shout out to Coop. A2HH Live gonna be on Wednesday. Y'all already know.
How's your day been, brother? We got a lot to talk about today.
Oh man, busy as ever. You know what I'm saying? It's like nonstop, but it's cool. It's like people have been killing me about this whole Fat Joe thing, and I'm just as baffled as ever. You know what I mean? Like, I thought I didn't say anything crazy. I thought I was being really reasonable.
Nah, you said a couple things crazy, man. I looked at the comments, man. They said your Trick Daddy is better than Fat Joe. That's kind of wild. Pastor Troy.
Is that wild though?
We spent 2 shows on Joe. We're gonna move on from Joe.
But I sent you a list of 50 people that are just straight up better. Like, I don't think that there's any real gripes there. Do you have the list?
I got the list. We're gonna segue into that. Let's get the sports out the way because we got a long show today. We're gonna talk about Mike's asinine 50 MCs is better than Joe list. We're gonna check Ludacris's mic today. We're gonna see. He said Ludacris is better than Joe too. That's not a fact.
Yeah, we can put that in the chat right now.
We're gonna check Luda's mic today. We're gonna talk about the Ye Big Boy interview with Ty Dolla Sign that came out this week. I know you got some thoughts about Meek Mill and DJ Academics. What else we gonna talk? We got a lot to talk about, man.
So P Rock. He also got the Kanye thing is, that's a lot to talk about right there. You want to start with the Justin Fields thing?
Yeah, let's start with the Justin Fields
thing. I don't know where to go from this because we were talking about, well, first of all, Coop and I expressed the fact that that the Falcons should have gotten him because all they wanted was 2 picks for him. And not only did the Steelers pick up Russell Wilson, but they went back and got Justin Fields. And you know what I said right here last week? I think I said last week that Russell Wilson's done.
Nah, Russell's not done.
What does this mean?
Did you see the press conference last week? I thought he looked like he said a lot of things. He said he was ready to go. He said that he's excited. You look at him right here. He looks excited. He said him and Mike Tomlin got a great relationship. He's been hanging out with a lot of the players. Firemuth, the tight end. He's been hanging out with Najee Harris, the running back. Just kind of getting the feel of the city. I think he's going to do well. I don't think that I think he's going to do well, man. I think he has like 1 or 2 years in Pittsburgh. I do think that the Justin Fields move is a segue to the future.
So you think that he's going to start over Justin Fields?
Oh yeah, they already promised him that. They said that's what they already promised him that. They said he will start. There's no competition. Yeah, I think.
Why do you think they even signed Justin Fields in the first place?
Because they got him for a 6th-round pick, Mike. A 6th-round pick. You got no choice but to do that because they had no other quarterbacks. They had the whole room was empty. You know what I mean? They had nobody. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking he's gonna do well. I don't think he has anything to worry about. I think that I think it's a good deal. They only paying him $1.4 million. Then you got my man Justin Fields only getting a 6th-round pick on a rookie deal.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see no problem with it. But
why didn't the Falcons get Justin Fields?
I think the Falcons want to win now. I think they're interested in winning now. I think they want to, get Kirk Cousins and maximize the talent that they have there. And actually, I ain't gonna lie, man, I'm kind of excited for Kirk. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking, I'm a Dallas Cowboy fan, as you know, but I'm excited. I might go take my family to some Falcons games because I think he's gonna bring something to the table that's a little bit different. You know what I'm saying?
I hear people saying that, but we'll see. People are saying that the poll is weird. The Fat Joe and Ludacris is a blowout. Ludacris 77% to 23%. You guys can thank Ron for that because he's the one that said that Ludacris is better than Fat, which is ridiculous.
Say, wait a minute. You know what? I didn't want to do this. Let's talk about Kyrie Irving because I'm gonna jump right into it now because you're trying to bait me into this topic.
I'm just saying, like, it's ridiculous.
Okay, the poll is wrong, but we're gonna prove this Ludacris and Fat Joe thing once and for all. I want you to defend your argument, Mike. Be prepared to defend it because I don't think you're gonna be able to once I drop this heat. I read a lot of the comments last week. You say I wasn't prepared, but I'm prepared today. Mike's a different competitor. I'm ready to go. I smoked Coop when I sat in for Mike about a couple months ago. Now I'm gonna give Mike this work. But I want you to understand what's about to happen. But one thing that happened over the weekend was Kyrie Irving. Did you see that joint against the Nuggets?
I did.
Man, I mean that was a crazy shot, man. Crazy.
I mean, Kyrie is clutch, man, and he's proven it once again. Kyrie's a weird individual in the sense where I'm not even talking about personal, but just the fact that as a number one guy, he doesn't really have that track record that he has as the number two guy. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with being the number two guy, but he needs that level of support. When he had LeBron there, he could hit all the clutch shots possible in big, meaningful games. And now he has, Luka there. It's a similar sentiment, I don't know why the Boston thing didn't work for him, but I like this Dallas team. I like the makeup that they got going on, and I think they're one player away. But you think the Nuggets are going to win the whole thing this year?
I'm leaning toward the Nuggets, but I think it could be an upset. And I think what we saw over the weekend with Kyrie, with Luka, I think as a team in the West that can upset them. I don't think the Clippers can do it because I think the Clippers are getting up there in age. I don't think they can stay healthy. Don't think the Lakers can do it because they're up and down, inconsistent, kind of old. It's not deep. I think Phoenix, they got a lot of injuries. They're getting up there in age. I think the only team that I can see pulling off an upset is Luka and Kyrie. So if that's,
I just don't think they got enough, man.
I think if they get to the finals, I think they might win again. I don't trust Boston. I don't think that, I like Jason Tatum, but I don't see him as a really clutch player. I don't see Jaylen Brown as a clutch player. They got a lot of talent, but I don't think that it's a championship roster. I mean, they do have a man who came from Porzingis. I mean, Porzingis does give them a different look. Yeah. But anyway, I'm off of this, Mike. I'm tired, man. I've been stewing on this for about a week now. It's been really bothering me. I sat down and watched A2HH Live. Check it out every Wednesday. Mike D and Coop. Y'all spend a lot of time dissecting Joe, naming people. But you say Ludacris is better than Joe. You said the poll said Ludacris is better than Joe. So, Mike, I want you to check out the screen real quick, right? And I want you, you used to be an MC, right? I want you to recite some of these lyrics here, and you tell me, has Fat Joe ever had a bar like this? Let's let the audience tell us. Okay, Mike. So, Mike, can you repeat these lines for us, Mike?
I'll do it. It says, "Girl, you taste like a Cinnabon, so sweet from the thighs to the cheek, sex on the beach. Check the size of my paws. Call me the butcher. Ludacris. Pause. Sheets."
So I ask you, and I ask the lovely audience, have you ever heard a Fat Joe line as black as that?
Okay, so you're basing the fact that there are lyrics like that out there for Ludacris that Fat Joe is better than Luda? Or are we talking about where is Luda positioned, pause, in this whole lexicon of great MC?
No, I'm just asking, have you ever heard a bad rhyme as what you just heard right there? I'm just asking, you know what I'm saying?
Do y'all think it's a bad rhyme or just an inappropriate rhyme or just something that,
let's just call it what it is,
for the ladies, you know what I mean? Like something not for us.
Let's just call it what it is, Mike. That was whack. Can we not say that?
Okay, this is what I'll say. Okay.
It's whack.
I'm fine with that.
Have you ever heard Fat Joe? Have you ever heard Fat Joe say
Like, what's that Crybabies bar from Luda where he was like, I got niggas mad as fuck, like when condoms break, or how your heart feels from eating 40 pounds of steak. And he's like, Ludacris feels great. And I'm like, yeah, those aren't top-notch bars. But I will say that he has outstanding moments. And again, my argument with Joe is the fact that he doesn't have outstanding moments. Yeah, someone says, Cam said, I keep computers putin'. Cam has some, hit or miss lines too, and Cam's great. Lil Wayne has a lot of misses. Weezy F Baby, the F is for phenomenal. Like, stuff like that. Like, he has a lot of misses.
Okay.
A lot of things that didn't connect.
Okay. So we got that one. Okay, so I got
Oh, you got more. Let me get to the super chat real quick. 36 Chambers says Fat Joe wouldn't have the courage to step in the ring to make something like Luda line or attempt it. Man's boring and predictable. And that matters in the conversation of overall MC. Sorry, I agree with 36 Chambers. You got to take chances as an MC. Joe takes no chances.
No chances, you say, okay? No chance. So I got something else for you, Mike. You ready for the next one? I want you to tell me if you've ever heard Fat Joe rhyme on any song, something like this. Let's go.
Hold up. What's the first one? My black people show me love when I'm up in the block. And Latinos always waiting for my CDs to drop. White people love the flow. They say the dude's fucking rocks. So find my album in the stores and look for the white steam. Play it in your mama mic. It keep going on out. Mike Scream. It's harder albums. It's softer than ice cream. It's funny you're playing this, and I don't know why this made me think about it. Somebody was playing Jigga That Nigga Jigga the other day.
Oh, let's not change the subject.
I'm not trying to change the subject. There was so many whack bars in that song.
How are we changing the subject?
That song is.
Why are we changing the subject?
No, I'm just saying, like, it just made me think of subpar bar.
Let's not deflect now. I got you running right now. I got you running right now.
But hold on, what are you saying? You saying Luda's whack? Like, is Luda top 25?
Have you ever heard Fat Joe rap anything?
Okay, so you're saying Fat Joe's better than Luda.
That's what I got one more for you, Mike, and I want the audience to chime in because obviously maybe I'm crazy. I'm new to the game. I'm just the camera guy. I don't know what the hell I'm.
You're not a hip hop aficionado right now. You're not sounding like one.
Oh well, okay. Maybe this sounds like some hip hop aficionado shit.
Let's see the hippity hip hop.
Okay, I got one more for you. Okay, let's see what we got. What we got.
When I was 13, I had my first love. There was nobody to compare to my baby, and nobody came between us. Not her even come above. She had me going crazy. Oh, I was starstruck. She woke me up. Only don't need no Starbucks.
Woo!
Oh, what song is this from?
I mean, I don't even know.
You dug deep on this one. Where did you find these bars from? First of all,
it's in his lexicon. It's in his catalog. I mean,
let me get to these super chats real quick. 36 Chambers says, easy to throw out these bad Luda bars, but at least you have ones to reference. Has anyone ever really quoted Fat Joe lines beyond release week? Yeah, no quotables. Kendall Outlaw with the super chat says, Luda can create a great song with no features. Can Fat Joe say the same thing? I'm with Kendall Outlaw on that. Luda can make a Southern Hospitality. Doesn't have to have anybody on it. Luda can make, even though Shauna's on What's Your Fantasy, it's him in 3 verses. Luda can get on a feature and do what he did on Sierra's do what he did on Jermaine Dupri's Welcome to Atlanta. Shit, even do what he did on the Made You Look remix.
Mike, if any.
I got another one. Missy's Gossip Folks.
Okay. Well, Mike, if you know anybody that uttered any of these lyrics or spit these joints, you would say it was whack. Let's be for real, man.
No. Listen, I've gone on the show before. I've broken down some of Luda's bars. I actually said some of the same things about Luda that I said about Fat Joe. But I mean, I think 2 Chainz is a better rapper than Luda. I know people kill me for saying that, but I truly believe that. But when it comes to Fat Joe and Luda, man, like they're not even in the same class. But again, that kind of lets you know where I put Fat Joe as an MC.
I'm looking at some of the comments, and you can get to the super chats. But OJ Weston said Luda has a classic album. I want OJ Weston to call in. You know what I'm saying? What album?
What album? You gonna do a call in for this one?
What album? I'm gonna put the link in the chat. We'll start accepting calls in about 30 minutes. But at that 30-minute mark, y'all hop in. Let me know what this classic album is. You know what I mean?
I don't know if I agree with classic album. I know a lot of people think Back for the First Time is classic because it was the debut and the timing of it all, maybe. But I think his best album is Chicken and Beer.
Is that the one with Saturday?
Nah, that's Word of Mouth. Word of Mouth got a lot of hits on it though. But yeah, Chicken and Beer got a lot of
Juice Don't Pop on the Stove. No, whoa, is that the one? Which one is that? Come on,
the hating, man.
You know,
all right, 36 Chambers with the super chat said, Saturday's a dope record. 36 Chambers with the super chat says, I'll take bad Luda bars over forgettable Joe ones. Zuri with the super chat says, Joe's song Success is better than the majority of Luda's. Huh. Okay. Well, where do you have Luda? Because a lot of people have Luda top 5 in Atlanta, top 5 in the South. Where do you think Luda is as an overall MC?
I don't have Ludacris in the top 5 in the South. I don't have him in the top 10 in the South. I don't have him in the top 15 in the South. I don't
give me your top 5 in Atlanta then.
Again, I do you one better because I made a list. I can't prepare for you today. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool.
I read the comments. They said I wasn't prepared last time, but I'm prepared today.
You gotta get prepared.
Prepared today. So I got, if you want to just talk about the South, right? And you can get some Atlanta sprinkled in as I give you my list. These are MCs that are better than Ludacris in the South. Andre 3000.
He's disqualified, but okay, I got you.
Big Boy.
Okay.
CeeLo Green.
Cool with that.
T.I.
I'm cool with that.
Scarface.
I'm cool with that.
8 Ball.
I don't know.
MJG.
I like 8 Ball and MJG better, but it's a hard argument to make.
Come on, MJG, 8 Ball.
I love MJG. I think MJG is super underrated.
Can rap better than Ludacris. I'm sorry. Pimp C, without question. Bun B.
Personally, come on. All right, listen. I personally like all of those MCs you named.
Let's be for real.
More than Luda, but it's a tough argument, man. Luda has a catalog, man, and
I'm talking about rhyming, Mike. I'm talking about
no, and then I'm gonna get to the rhyming where Luda really excels, and I think where a lot of people put him very high, as they should. It's that Rap City in the Basement era when he used to go in the basement and really freestyle. He was the king of the basement. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the people that we're naming, especially from the South, they couldn't go off the top like Luda. Like Luda's a very skilled freestyler. We got to give him that. What the big things that Luda has, and again, I'm trying to be fair and balanced here because I'm sitting here defending Luda when I've, been on the other side of this argument. I think he has a great flow. He has versatile flow. He has a great rap voice. He has great freestyle ability, and he knows how to make a song. He knows how to make hit records. And all of those things, even though he might not have like the lyrical depth of some of his other counterparts, all of those things that he excels in might put him above some people who skill for skill could be better than him, if that makes any sense.
And I was, they say women are a litmus test of music. I was on a road trip with my wife, and I want to go down memory lane. So I pulled up the Ludacris, Spotify playlist, and in the car we were riding, going somewhere. I think we were going to Charleston, South Carolina, or something. I got like 1 or 2 songs in. She said, "Please turn this shit off."
No, I don't think his music aged that well, and I think that's part of the fact that he was making music for the times and making music for the radio. Now, if you want to compare him to a person like a Ti, who again, I don't think his music has aged the best either, but it's aged much better than Luda's, in my personal opinion. And I think that when you talk about the range that somebody like a Ti has, yeah, it's hard to put Luda over somebody like that. Luda's kind of like Busta Rhymes when it comes to, radio records. And he's kind of like Redman when it comes to just being a punchline guy and just going for what he does best.
Let me proceed with my list because I'm still.
Let me get to these super chats real quick, and then you can finish that. Mall7 says, "I agree, Mike. Chicken and Beer is his best album." Peter Stone with the super chat says, "Crisscross is greater than Luda on the ATL ranking." Dang. Okay, go ahead, Ron.
Let me put the super chats up. Show people love.
Chicken
and beer. Okay, well, okay. I'm on my list, man. I'm at what 10 people already, man. I got Project Pat better than Ludacris.
Now that one I'm not gonna fight you on.
I'm sorry, I got DJ Paul better than Ludacris.
Nah, I can't say that. I love Paul.
I got Juicy J better than Ludacris. I got Big Crit. better than Ludacris.
Nah.
I got J. Cole. Honestly, that's easy. J. Cole's better than Ludacris.
Okay.
I got Juvenile better than Ludacris. That's easy. I got Lil Wayne, of course.
That's an interesting discussion right there. Now, hold up. The Juvenile and Luda thing is very interesting, I think.
Man, there's nothing interesting about it. Juvenile has songs that my wife won't tell me to turn off if I play in the car. And that's just the truth. I mean, it's gotta be a litmus test, Mike. It's gotta be.
I feel you, but it's like with somebody who has, when you give Luda this, he has 3 jamming ass albums. Like he had Back for the First Time, because we're not gonna count Incognito. It's pretty much
songs I can't play.
He had Word of Mouth, and he had Chicken and Beer. Love Juvenile, but it's like 400 Degrees, incredible. Then you got, Soldier Rag was cool. Project English. It's like, are we really going to? And then Luda did all the feature work too. I think that Luda outworked Juvie. Do you really think that bar for bar Juvenile is a better rapper than Luda?
Yes. Juvenile's, rhymes, and especially on High. If you sit back and just listen to what he's saying on Soldier Rags and stuff that he writes on UTP, UPT, all that stuff right there, it's just different. It's just,
I think Leroy Green said J. Cole's not better than Luda. Look, what? I think
wait a minute.
Your biggest discrepancy with Luda is content. I think that you are holding Luda back behind certain people because of content.
Hey, Leroy.
I love Juicy J, man, and I love DJ Paul as overall artists and producers. There's no way in hell I'm gonna say that they're better than Luda, man. I can't.
Hey, Leroy, in about 20 minutes or so, you got to hop on and tell the folks why you think that Ludacris is better than J. Cole. I'm just not understanding.
Now that one, I don't know, and I would like to hear where Leroy's coming from with that. Christopher Hogan with the super chat says, "You can find whack bars in every rapper's catalog." Yeah, and
not like this.
Jigga, that nigga Jigga got a lot of whack bars, man. Gnarly Dude, I puff Bob Marley Dude.
Not like this. I just stopped at 3 songs, Mike. I had, if I had more time today, I had about 15 Ludacris pages built that I couldn't upload in time for the show. But it's like 15 on 16 different songs spanning over 11 years of time.
Did you see Ludacris wax Nelly in that verses though?
Did he really wax him though?
He kind of did, man. And I love Nelly. And I think that, Nelly might have played it wrong, just trying to be too diverse, but Luda just had bangers. Luda had one of those versus showings that Rick Ross had, where it was like he just didn't even play a bunch of stuff because he got so much. His feature game is high, man. His feature game is heavy, and he got to hit records on his own catalog. So let's go deeper before. I think some of the people that you're picking over Luda, I think is showing.
What's some people?
We can't put DJ Paul and Juicy J over.
Can I finish my list? I'm almost done. Currency, I got over Ludacris.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
I got Killer Mike over Luda. I got Rick Ross over Luda. I got Jeezy over Luda. I got Little Baby over Luda. I got Pusha T over Luda. 2 Chainz over Luda. Future over Luda.
Why do you have Lil Baby over Luda? I want to ask.
I mean, you know, I had to put somebody contemporary on the list. You know, I was just
so you just picked.
now that's the only one I felt kind of, you know, cautious about. But
like I said, man, I think Luda in the timing when he came out 2000 and when he came in that Rap City in the Basement and proved to people that he could rhyme off top. Because anybody who watched Rap City in the Basement with Tigger, the highlight of that show was the booth. And the highlight of the booth was Ludacris. He went in there multiple times. And I think that's where he kind of separates himself from a lot of his rap peers, man. Fat Joe ain't going to go down there and freestyle. Now, I think the one thing that Luda is missing, and it's kind of the reason why he's missing that quintessential classic album, is depth, content, and subject matter. And that's a big thing, especially in the South. And I think a lot of people don't really credit the South for, you know, I guess that lyrical miracle flow and things like that. But the South is really about stories, really about, you know, telling their story. And Luda is one of the few Southern MCs that doesn't really do that. So it kind of puts him on an island because everybody you name, yeah, they talk about real shit. You know what I'm saying?
So you got no problem with my list. Well, only people you got a problem with is DJ Paul, Juicy J, 8 Ball, MJG, and you got a problem with Little Baby. I wasn't trolling. I know folks in the chat saying I'm trolling. I'm not trolling.
A lot of people I had a problem with. I think the Juvenile thing is interesting, but I think overall you got to give that nod to Luda.
I got Gucci over Luda.
I'm not, you know, again, I have my personal preference, but in a vacuum, I'm not mad at that.
You got Jeezy over Luda.
Jeezy's not better than Luda.
Come on, man.
He had a bigger moment, but
Jeezy makes better music than Luda.
But if somebody were to say that, I could understand because Jeezy makes you feel in ways that Luda doesn't.
Yeah, that's what we.
And again, that comes back to, I mean, this is hip hop, man. This is music, and this is music that comes from the soul. And if you're not making people feel, then you're susceptible to having somebody who might not be as quote unquote as skilled as you being considered greater than you because they're able to do those things. Like Ice Cube, Scarface, and Chuck D never had to do any lyrical gymnastics. They never did. They never did.
We got some super chats, Mike. Hit them with the super chats.
All right. 36 Chambers of the super chat says, easy to find whack bars. Give me Joe's best 3 verses and Luda's. Can't say that that the research is done if we only throw up one MC's bad bars. It's about who's best, not who has some corny lines, respectfully. I agree with 36.
I respect that 36 Chambers. I respect that. I just, you know, I'm just judging it by, you know, I don't play no Luda on my Spotify, bro.
He was just trying to be funny. What you got against Ludacris, man?
I like Ludacris, man. We went to the same school, man. That's my brother. But I mean,
yeah, same music departments, everything. 36 Chambers also says, are there better lyrics? Sure. Luda is a punchline rapper and a hit maker for his time. His biggest hits did age well and hold up in the top 10 of the South. What do you think about, do you think Fab's better than Luda and why?
Do I think Fab's better than Luda? Yeah, I think Fab's better than Luda because I still listen to Fab's music, right? When he came out, he was kind of a punchline-y rapper when he first came out. You know what I'm saying? It was kind of, he didn't kind of age well when he first dropped out.
How well do you think his hits age?
I mean, you can still play Cuffin' Season. I still hear Cuffin' Season when I travel.
Okay.
You still hear the joint with him and Jadakiss. That album kind of was okay. Other than that, the song with Nate Dogg is kind of gimmicky. He was part of that wave when Ludacris came out. But I mean,
Rick Rock, yeah.
Holla Back. You know, it's just, you know, I'm talking about the later Fabulous kind of evolved later on in his career, right?
It's more of a long game with him.
It's more of
Pause.
a long, it's more of a long game with
And I think that's one of the biggest things when it comes to the Ludacris argument too. I think that it was in such a small window that if somebody does want to make the argument that Fab or somebody with longevity like let's say a Styles P or something they have over him, it's hard to argue that. You know what I mean? Like it really is.
Yeah, so I just wanted to dispel. You said that people say he's top 5 in Atlanta and top 10 in the South. I can't see it, Mike.
I'll say, okay, so go over your list again because we're not counting Andre 3000. He's not an individual.
So
He doesn't have one song with 3 verses, so it's hard to put him up against solo people.
so I
Let's
say
take
Big Boy, CeeLo, Ti. I mean,
Big
that's
Boy, CeeLo, T.I. I'm okay with that.
Scarface. Come on, let's be for real.
Of course.
J. Cole, let's be for real. I mean, I want to
I'm
get
with the J. Cole thing. We'll listen to Leroy Green's,
Little Wayne, Little Wayne, Rick Ross, let's be for real.
Okay, Wayne Ross, that's 7.
Pusha T, let's be for real.
Mm-hmm.
2 Chainz, let's be for real.
Yeah, I've said that, man.
Jay Electronica, let's be for real.
Nah, man, we're not gonna put Jay Electronica over Ludacris, man. He ain't got no music, man. Nah, I get it in a vacuum, maybe, but nah, he ain't got no music. We're not gonna do that. He's not qualified for that.
Gucci Mane, let's be for real.
If you want to say, but yeah, that's
Project Pat, let's be for real.
10.
Currency, I'm sorry. I mean,
Currency. Listen, man. I think Currency is one of those guys that we don't talk about enough. He better than Fat Joe too. Wiz Khalifa is too. Zuri with the super chat says, Luda's hits don't age well. That's his problem. And the other problem is, I say this respectfully, man, because I feel like maybe some of Luda's people be in these rooms, be watching A2HH live, but when he spits these freestyles, I feel like he's talking to me or something. But
really,
I say this respectfully.
What? I mean, give me an example.
I mean, it was I don't remember the bar itself, but I remember the freestyle, and he was kind of just talking about people counting them out and this and that. And it was like after one of Coop and I's discussions. Because our only discussions about Luda is the fact that the people outside of the city of Atlanta hold Luda higher than the people inside the city of Atlanta, because when it was actually going on, it wasn't a movement like when T.I. came through, when Pastor Troy came through, when Jeezy came through, when Gucci came through. Like, these people had the city on lock, whereas Luda pretty much, he hit the ground running and he went nationwide like right away, damn near. So the other ones kind of bubbled here, even 2 Chainz. Like 2 Chainz had the city on lock, and Luda just didn't have that period. But again, Luda's a pioneer as far as the solo artist in Atlanta, or solo MCs in Atlanta, and we needed somebody to jump off nationwide like that quickly at that time.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have any solo rap success at that point. We had Outkast and Goody Mob, and Luda was the first soloist to jump out there and kind of put Atlanta on his back as a solo artist, and well appreciated for that. But there were some things that were missed as it pertains to, going that path too. But again, he comes from radio. He knew what was going to work. He knew what was coming down the pipeline. According to Ali from the St. Lunatics, he feels like, he kind of studied what they were doing and probably heard the stuff that they were doing before it even came out. I don't know.
Right. And you said a lot of pointed things, Mike, and I don't mean any disrespect. We're just having some fun when we talk about Ludacris. I did, he came up right when we were coming up into the city, and he did a lot, from being on the radio with Chris Love and Poom Daddy, Hot 97, and then, coming from Georgia State, and then worked this way, so coming like a worldwide star and an international film star. I think he might be on the Walk of Fame now too.
Yeah, man.
So I mean, he's done a lot.
I think he has one of the most successful careers.
He does, and I'm not knocking it. I just don't think his music aged well. And there's a lot of people. Truth be told, music doesn't really age well, because, like I said, my litmus test is when I go back and kind of put on a record that came out maybe 15, 20 years ago, and I'm like, okay, whose music 20 years ago that I listened to that I can still listen to today without my wife saying cut it off? And that's 50. That's Jay. That's Nas. that Scarface.
Yeah.
Those are some of the people that you can play that stuff doesn't sound dated. Now I ain't gonna front. If we get in this conversation, we can check his mic another day, pause. But if you put that Spotify Busta Rhymes playlist on, it's a lot of stuff that Busta's nice, but that music ain't holding up well. But I don't want the folks to get
I'm
crazy
with you on that.
it.
And again, it's funny because Busta comes from the tree of the individuals that I feel like have the most timeless music, which is Tribe. I don't think there's anybody's music who is aged better than Tribe's music. I listened to jazz yesterday. Like those records sound like they could have came out literally yesterday, and they're like 30 years old. Busta, his stuff didn't listen. I don't know how to really say this because I'm a Busta Rhymes fan, and I listen to Abandoned Ship. I listen to Wild for the Night. I listen to Everything Remains Raw. But I don't know how much other people listen to that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everything Remains Raw is crazy. I think that's a different one. That's a timeless Busta Rhymes song right there.
Right. It's just that, the Spotify playlist. That's a good segue. I want to take a pause real quick because we're gonna talk about the Kanye Big Boy conversation. We're gonna talk about some other things, but we do have a Spotify playlist. Mike, you want to talk about? I'm gonna share the screen while you kind of talk about what we've done.
For sure, man. Well, the newsletter just rolled out. We wanted to do the week according to hip hop. We tried that in a few segments, maybe about a year or so ago. We thought that the best way to roll out something like this is going to be in a newsletter type of form. So news travels so fast in social media. We wanted to be able to condense the week and let people know what the most important things that happened in hip hop that week were. And on top of that, we wanted to throw together a Spotify playlist that we can just basically set the scene and set the mood for each week. Listen, I put Rock Marciano. I think Emeralds is on there. We got a lot of bangers on there, but we're going to continuously add on to it. So y'all need to go ahead and subscribe to that newsletter. It's actually in the community section on the YouTube channel. So you can click that link, put in your email address, and we'll go ahead and send you out that newsletter, and you can get that week to week. And also, you can take part in that too. We're going to have polls and debates on that newsletter as well. I got a couple super chats too. Oh, you got it up there? Yeah.
I got the playlist on this joint. You know what I'm saying?
Full clip.
Full clip. I had to start it off like that, fresh out the gate again. Time to, raise the stakes again. You know what I'm saying? Guru, you know what I'm saying? Fat my play again. We always play to win. You know what I mean? GNG to the star, son. That's one of my favorite. I mean, Gangstar, folks that don't know, one of my favorite groups.
Gangstar is one of your favorite groups. I remember you used to play with Gangstar a whole lot back.
Step into the arena, hard to earn. Moment of Truth is one of my favorite albums.
Moment of Truth is an incredible album.
It's an example of another album you can listen to still today. I mean, the Moment of Truth is a song I revisit maybe every month or so. Man, it's a great.
Do you have a top 5 Gangstar songs?
I want to save that. I do,
Okay.
but I do. I mean, Dwick is one. The Militia. Is one of my favorite Gangstar songs. Royalty is another one. Moment of Truth is another one. Conspiracy is another one. Man, Conspiracy is one of my favorite Gangstar records. I mean, the sample, that loop is just crazy. It's just crazy. What's your top 5 Gangstar joints? We jumping off topic, but
yeah, we are jumping off topic. But you know what? I love Royalty. I love Moment of Truth. Obviously, Mass Appeal. Man, my Steez is up there.
Above the Clouds.
Above the Clouds. Yeah, Dwick. It's a lot, man. What a great group.
One of the best groups of all time. But we're gonna have to do a full Gangstar show. I'm at the show because folks be doubting my mic game and my hip hop knowledge. I want to break it down for these cats.
You know what? Speaking of doing a whole dedicated show, I want to do a dedicated show to the Beastie Boys and their impact and how much their impact gets glossed over. Because the Beastie Boys deserve their flowers. And who better to do it than Mike D, right? You know what I'm saying?
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. But real quick, let's go through the list. So if you go to the Spotify list, each and every week we're gonna drop this. We got full clip. We had Bloba Bloba Rome Streets. I got a story to tell, another classic record, Burner Phone. We got Smoke Fest 1999. We got I had to put Mike put a I ain't gonna front. I put the Cardi B joint on there.
Oh yeah, that was you. I randomly put Tash Smoke Fest 99 because I was listening to it in the ride the other day. And Big Boy, Dre, Feel the Agony, and Be Real killed that shit. Is Be Real better than Fat Joe?
Man, let's why you picking on Joe, man?
I'm sorry, I'm just naming MCs that I might have forgot.
Funky Dividends, a little throwback joint.
Oh, I love that record.
You know, that's another throwback joint. We had your boy I Am God, who was on the show with you and Coop a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, I Am God got bars.
Why'd you pick this record?
The bars, and he just comes in like he's just going in from jump.
Crazy. Then you picked Emeralds. You already talked about that. Rock Marciano. And
Rock
then
Marciano.
I picked Ye. This is my favorite record. I mean, both of the records, the part 1 and part 2. Junior. I mean, I was out, and I always gauge music by how I was out somewhere in Atlanta on the west side. Was it west side of Atlanta? I was there on Marietta Street, and this DJ, she was a female DJ, and she was playing all types of shit, right? Then out of nowhere, she played this Junior record. And I went up to her afterwards. I said, "Yo, why'd you play this record?" She said, That's the best shit on Donda. I was like, I agree. So, yo, that's the playlist. If you got some kind of suggestions, hit Mike D, hit Coop up, hit myself up, drop us a line, info@accordinghiphop.com, drop us a Facebook message, and shit. Every week, man, sign up to the newsletter. We need that.
Yeah. Christopher Hogan with the super chat says Paul Wall is an underrated rapper who's dope. I think Paul Wall is underrated. I like stuff he's doing with technology right now. Peter Stone with the super chat says Luda don't got an album better than Jealous One's Envy, and Joe has more notable features on hip hop classics. Okay. Kendall Outlaw with the super chat says Ludacris raps about a lot of stereotypes, and the content was kind of corny, but he rapped well. It's weird.
It is weird.
It is weird. Mall 7 with the super chat says Betrayal is a top 5 Gangstar track, hands down.
I was thinking of Betrayal. I was thinking about Betrayal.
Christopher Hogan with the super chat says I like Boosie over Luda. Ask the streets in the South. Hey man. Again, same argument could be made with Boosie and Luda as what I was making with Fat Joe, because I think that Boosie has real fans. I feel like Luda has real fans though. So it might not be the same.
It's hard to gauge. I mean, Ken, like I said, I ain't gonna say nothing. Everybody gonna be on my bumper in this chat. We'll talk about that another day.
Well, all right. We were just talking about great, you know what I'm saying, MC, producer / DJ duos. Do we have a preview of the Pete Rock interview we did with?
Yeah, I gotta queue it up. I gotta load it up. I mean,
okay.
So fine.
Is that happening this show?
Yeah, we'll see. I want it to be a big show. You might have to do it. You might have to do it on Wednesday.
Okay, yeah, we can do that on Wednesday.
We got the producer contest coming, and Mike D and Coop, A2HH Live. We're gonna do a little preview of that today. Mike put together a bracket. We kind of curated a bracket in honor of March Madness. We're gonna have how many producers is in the tournament, Mike?
64.
We got 64 producers. We're gonna give you a little preview today. It officially launches on Wednesday. A2HH Live, Mike D and Coop. We're gonna go through the list, but today we're gonna give you a little preview of it. But speaking of producers and speaking of Boosie, there was something that happened over the weekend. There was a conversation with Big Boy. And I don't even call it an interview. I think it was a conversation. I like Big Boy's approach to it, right? It was two OGs talking, him and Ty Dolla Sign, Kanye, Ye. And they talked about the album, and they talked about the rollout. They talked about all the things that were in Kanye's mind. Mike, you got a chance to check.
Hold on. We'll save the Doomsday 2 discussion for Wednesday, because that he's talking about the Eminem response to Benzino.
I didn't even have that on my radar to talk about. We comb through topics a lot, and it came up. Mike, you know what you told me, you asked me about it. I was like, But you saw the Kanye interview, Mike. What'd you think?
I did. All I gotta say is, man, you gotta respond to the Black Slim Shady. But yeah, the Kanye interview was dope. And Kanye, this is what I always feel about him. Whether you like what he has to say or not, you have to appreciate that there's somebody that is this huge and this much of a mega superstar that's actually going to be honest with you and be transparent with you. Because listen, our biggest artists, and I ain't gotta, say any names, they're not going to answer certain questions. Interviewers aren't going to ask them certain questions. And if they are asked anything that's difficult, then they're going to give the politically correct answer. Kanye's not going to do that. And again, like he said, you got to love it, though. Somebody still speaks from his soul. And they always talk about the old Kanye, new Kanye, this, that, and the third. He's the same guy. He's just older. You know what I'm saying? Like, the mentality is the same. And I think that what he had to say about him influencing the past 20 years of music, I've been saying that. You know what I'm saying?
Let's play that clip. Let's play that clip. I got the clip queued up.
All right.
Let's play the clip. Let me get it queued up. Hold on. But yeah, he's been saying that, Mike, you've been saying that for a very
808s and Heartbreaks. Like 808s and Heartbreaks birthed this era of music. He's an ultimate creator, man. All right.
Let me play it. You've been saying that for a very long time. Let's play Kanye from Big Boy's Conversation.
Volume kind of low. Hope we don't get flagged on this. Fair use.
Is inside of me. That's why I always think of all kind of products, from like house to shoes to the music, or like even when I was dealing with Balenciaga and Gap, this times with the deal where it's just like grandfather just hopping through the phone, like speaking on my behalf, like what will my grandfather do in this situation? I got the head designer of Balenciaga doing Gap. So in this situation, where Apple, I ain't never met with Tim Cook. They always send Larry Jackson or Eddie Q or Ebro to come talk to you. And I'm like, bro, I'm Steve. How I ain't gonna meet with? I'm the new Steve. I'm not gonna meet with Tim Cook. You was employed to Steve. I'm Steve. So, and of this music game, I am, but not under Lucian. And saying I invented every style of music of the past 20 years. I created the genre. I created weekend genre, Trav, Drake. Everybody, I'm going ahead and say With All Love, Future and Thug, also because the Auto-Tune album, 808s. If you think about it, no one think about it. Everybody think about Trav, Weekend, and Drake, but no one thinks about Future and Thug. Also, the Auto-Tune album. Now, everyone, they added what it was to it, but here's a new genre. It's called Making Your Own Money genre. And this music is called, like, Take That.
Listen. And he was being nice to Wayne too. And I think for people who were actually there, you gotta realize, man, he was very pivotal in Wayne getting to that next level. Because Hot Boy Wayne or Cash Money Wayne that was rapping over Manny Fresh's beats, he was only at a certain level. But when Kanye put him on Graduation on Barry Bonds, that was a big moment for Wayne. He was the only rap feature on an album that did 1 million the first week. That was big for Wayne. Carter 3, Kanye's all over that shit. You know what I'm saying? And that was the moment for Wayne. And Kanye plays even a pivotal part in the launch of, one of the biggest artists of that time being Lil Wayne. He didn't even mention that part. He's everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, as he said in the lawsuit, he revitalized Jay-Z's career with the Blueprint. I didn't say it. He said that. He basically pulled Common out of the dead and got Common to where he is right now. Common is still riding off of the success of B. B is kind of like Common's doggy style at this point.
Man, that's big words. I think
it is. People don't know Common outside of that record.
I mean, like water for chocolate. I
we know it. The hip hop heads know it, but I'm talking about the mainstream, like because Common's a mainstream artist now. Like I always grew up feeling like Common was like the king of the underground. Like, and I thought there was a dope mystique to that. Like it's Talib, it's Mos, and Black Thought, but Common is the guy. That's how I used to look at it. And when B happened, this man was everywhere, man. Like that's his biggest moment. And I think he's still riding off that moment. I mean, even look at the wardrobes and all of that. Kanye did that.
He did. I mean, the interview was fascinating, man. I mean, one of the things he said he can't believe he's not dead. They ain't killed him yet. That was kind of crazy. But
Well, I mean, he said it so much that if that happens, they know that they'll make him a martyr now. So I think their thought, not to get, too deep into that, but their thought is like, okay, well, let's let him just burn himself out and talk himself in a hole where people just think he's crazy. Whereas if something were to happen to him, then his legacy gets even bigger.
Right. The interview was great. I like Big Boy's style. You know what I mean? I think Big Boy is a conversationalist. He's
a legend.
He's not going to get you a gotcha questions. And I know he digs at Ebro. Ebro has that same type of style, but I think Ebro is kind of slanted in his thought process, and it's kind of I don't know. I'm not going.
I like Ebro. I think Ebro does a great job.
I like Ebro, and I think Ebro and Ye conversation will be a good thing. You know what I mean? I just don't think that I don't know why he aligns himself with people like Rosenberg who don't seem to really be pushing the culture forward.
Well, Ebro is and always has been, and it's not a bad thing. He's a company guy. And I think that, that clashes with the idealism of somebody like a Kanye West or somebody like a Dame Dash. And I think that's where they clash. But stylistically and just doing the job, like Ebro's great at what he does. And he knows his stuff. Like, I love, prime example, when De La Soul, rest in peace to Plug too, Dave, they were all together. This is some years back. I want to say this is when they released the Anonymous Nobody on the Kickstarter campaign. They went to Breakfast Club and got interviewed. And you could tell they were disengaged because the Breakfast Club is not about music at all. You know what I mean? They went to Hot 97 with the Ebro show, and it was a whole different thing because Ebro and Rosenberg too, they were able to speak to the music. You know what I'm saying? And they know their stuff. I think that Kanye's thing with them, I think they're playing chicken with one another because Kanye knows that they want him on their show so bad, and he's not going to give it to him. It's like Skip Bayless and LeBron James.
Yeah, I mean, I think she's trolling him at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think he did the Charlemagne thing, and Charlemagne went back and kind of broke bad on him. So that won't happen again. You know what I mean? But
he probably knew that was going to happen too.
I think we got a super chat.
Yeah, 36 Chambers with the super chat says, Ye influence can't be denied. He's a legend, one of the GOATs of the genre as a whole. Can't defend his recent string of mid music though. Feels washed up now. Sad man clinging to days respectfully. You think Ye is musically washed up?
No, I don't. I think his music has changed. I think as he's become more of a global, you can hear the influence in his music. I mean, this man made a whole album in Saudi Arabia and Italy. It kind of started with Yeezus. That sound kind of, you've been hearing this Ye sound since Yeezus. Then you had Life of Pablo. It's just different. You know what I mean? It's just a different type of Ye. It's not the same Ye. And I think he knows that as well. He's conscious of it too. That's why he put that record on Life of Pablo talking about the old Kanye. He can still make those records. Well, he's not washed. I think he's trying
your earlier point, not to interrupt you, but are you playing these records? Like you say, your litmus test, you're in the ride, you know what I'm saying? You got the wife, whatever, you gonna put these records on to the same frequency that you're putting on Late Registration,
Spotify
Graduation.
Spotify don't lie, brother. Spotify don't lie. You know what I'm saying? Spotify don't lie. You know what I
So you
mean?
do play these records. Okay. I mean,
I play Famous.
mind you,
I,
and
I play.
I want to get
I play Life of Pablo heavy,
Life of Pablo's dope. I play Life of Pablo a lot too.
heavy.
To give you guys a little bit of backstory, Ron told me that Kanye West was going to be the future of hip hop back when he heard him rap on Social Def Radio with Talib Kweli as a
Yeah,
guest. This is well before
This was like
the
10:30.
College Dropout.
It was
You
like
went to Kanye's first show.
first
here
show
in
in Atlanta.
Atlanta.
Yep. And I never forget. It was like 10:30 at night. Back in the day, MC used to come to the studio all types of night, and they would just come on and promote if they were in town to do a show, or they had an album come out or a single that was about to drop. It wasn't like Twitter and IG back in those days. You had to actually go to the radio and do some pub, right? So Talib was with Kanye. Kanye is with Talib, and he was in the studio, and I think Talib was like, "Yo, man, get him, young bull." And Kanye started rapping, and he started the same Kanye you hear talk now was the same Kanye talking on V103.
Right.
Like, yo, I'm gonna be the best of all times, man. I'm the dope. My production game is crazy. As soon as they let me rap, it's gonna be crazy. And then I saw him at the it was called Earthlink Live.
Yeah.
In Atlanta, one of his first shows for the College Dropout run. And I was actually behind. We were in line. There's like a door before you get into the venue because it's right off of what's that? West Peachtree, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
So West Peachtree, right? Or is that Spring Street? It's one of those streets. Or 10th Street. It might be on 10th.
Yeah, it's on 10th. It's Spring.
It's on 10th,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So unbeknownst to me at the time, I see a dude with a backpack, and then Kanye walks up, and he goes to like this side door. He's like, "Yo, John, man, come on." And then I go into the show, and then he got John Legend on the stage. John Legend, and John Legend's on the stage playing those earlier college dropout mixtape records like Home and My Way, This Way or the Highway, The Shy Way. I mean, Kanye evolved. I mean, I can't say he's washed because I've been a Kanye fan throughout every era of Kanye. When he became a megastar, and I think that was when like Gold Diggers what made him like a Gold Digger. And what's the other record he came out with? I didn't like that. That Stronger record was whack. You know what I mean? But
I wasn't a big fan of Stronger.
But that
let me stop you there though. I think, and maybe you can agree with this, that Kanye's biggest strength is his connectivity and his relatability. Do you not feel like recently with his efforts, his experimental efforts as an artist, as a producer, et cetera, do you not feel like he may have lost that?
No, because every time he does one of those listening experiences, there's people that's my age, that's older than me, that's younger than me. He hasn't lost any connectivity. He's like a star. I think he's one of the last rock stars, hip hop stars that we have. I mean, who's left? I mean, Madonna's is at the end of her run. Jay-Z was trying to be in that rock star mode, but his music really didn't match the rock star persona, so he's kind of done. 50 never could. I mean, 50 did the this last tour run, which was pretty impressive, sold out. Didn't have to cancel no dates. That's pretty impressive. But I don't know if he's considered like a big music star. You know what I'm talking about, Mike? These big Michael Jackson type figures that are larger than life. So I don't think he's washed. I think he's just evolved. I don't think the sound that we're looking for him will ever be there. And I like the music. I like Vultures. I mean, you can't tell me Vultures is not a dope record. I mean, it's a dope record. Then you got Burns, a dope record. I mean, there's a lot of dope records on this album. I mean, he got the number one album. He got the number one song in the country.
It's true. Christopher Hogan with the super chat says, y'all should check Rez Fresco Cooking Soul album. Okay. Got to check that out. Put that in the notes. And Mall 7 with the super chat says, Kanye is the best artist this century. Hey,
it's not even a, I mean, some would argue maybe Drake is dipping at his heels, but I don't think when Drake is 46, I don't know if he will still be selling out arenas in Italy. And I mean, I don't even think Drake's the level of superstar that Kanye is. Let's be real. Let's keep it a buck.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, I think there's levels to it, and Drake has the numbers and everything. But again, I think the connectivity, and I think that where Kanye has, touched his fan base, pause, like musically, it hits people on a different level than Drake's music does. And again, that kind of takes us back to where we started with this show. I think that when you talk about people who are very content heavy, who have songs like Hey Mama, who have songs like Spaceship, who have songs like Through the Wire that people, got through or helped them get over, that gives you an edge over somebody who makes just radio friendly records.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna open it up for some phone lines. I'm gonna put the link in the chat real quick if y'all want to jump in. But I like this new Kanye, man. I can't say it enough. I mean, we need to appreciate brother while he's still here, while he's still making music in the game. You know what I mean? Because
yeah, he can hang it up, if he wanted to.
It's like LeBron. It's like LeBron. It's gonna be, people talk a lot of shit about LeBron, but it's gonna be a sad day when LeBron leaves. It's gonna be a sad day when Steph leaves. It's gonna be a sad day when Kevin Durant leaves. I'm still sad that Tom Brady left. I mean, it's a sad deal. It's not the same. You know what I mean? So
no, it's not.
We're watching the last. I mean, I went to Las Vegas over the holidays to see U2 at the Sphere. There's not many of those people left, Mike. And Kanye's on that level of Bono, and Michael Jackson's gone. Prince is gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, Jay-Z could do it, but Jay-Z, I just don't think the last.
Jay's inactive, I mean, it's just the reality of it.
I mean, even Nas, as great as Nas is, as much as I love Nas, he doesn't have that aura of a star. I mean, you can't create.
He's a star, but I know
a star, but he's not like a super. It's like a global superstar. You understand what I'm talking about?
I see what you're saying, but yeah, I mean, Nas is just legendary. Yeah, man. I mean, is that all the topics that we're covering?
We got a lot of, we got the main one. We got the producer. We're gonna give him a preview. You want to give a preview of the producer battle, right?
Let's do it.
Why don't you explain your thought process as I cue it up here?
Okay, well, the thought process of putting together this tournament bracket was to actually put producers in individual sections, right? It's 64 great producers, so some great producers are going to get bumped out of the first round, but that that doesn't mean anything. That just means, look, you're one of the 64 greatest to ever do it. So I kind of got hit makers, if you will, in a certain section. I have a certain generation of producers in another section. Then I have the producers that were kind of more so in-house in another section. You'll see it when
all right, so I picked two. I didn't put the whole bracket up.
Oh, okay. Didn't put the whole thing up there.
I picked
yeah,
two.
That was kind of.
I want to give them a preview, right? So I picked producers that you got lined up. So explain. Okay. I'm gonna put it up on the screen. And so yeah, you
double graphic there.
You ain't seen this joint, huh?
Yeah, that's hard. So first round, Scott Storch,
Justice League. MVP is the most valuable beat, and Mike, I said Still DRE, and I said Maybach Music. You may differ. The awards, 6 awards for Scott Storch, three awards for Justice League. Frequent collaborator Rick Ross, Justice League, as you know, 50 for Scott Storch. Debut 93, 04 for Justice League. So
that's gonna be tough, man. And then what we'll do also is we're gonna put like I don't want to say the top 5 records, but 5 of their notable beats up there, so that what I'm saying, people can kind of do a little bit of a history lesson before they give their initial vote.
And if you want to vote, you got to go to I'm going to go ahead and put the banner up, and we're going to talk about Scott Storch in this Justice League battle. But go to a2hh.beehive, hive with 2 eyes and a v.com. Sign up for the newsletter. We're going to have it where you can vote every day. Then really the whole bracket, Mike D and Coop will reveal on A2HH Live. But you gotta subscribe in order to vote. We're going to have it on Facebook. We're actually streaming on IG right now. We're gonna be on.
People said they need criteria to vote on.
Y'all gonna drop the criteria, but I'm just gonna go. My criteria today is just the music. You know what I'm saying? So I got Scott Storch in that bracket against Justice League. I mean, it's just not even a fair fight.
It's a team versus one person, and I always hate doing this, but it is what it is. Scott Storch does have the diversity when it comes to working with different people. Justice League, though, when they nail it, they nail it. And I don't know, man. If I were an artist picking a beat, I would probably pick a beat from Justice League before I would Scott Storch.
Which beat would you pick?
I love Amsterdam. They did that, right? Rich Off Cocaine. Beautiful record. I will say, man, Rick Ross really brought out the best in what, they were able to bring to the table. You know what I mean? His voice, his delivery. And do they have a lot of hits outside of Ross?
I mean, I hate to do this to you, Mike. I think you got dusted. I mean, let's just be for real. So you go into a studio because you rhyme and you used to be an MC in the arena. You go into a studio, you hear popping them things. You gonna pick?
No, did Dre do that or did Scott Storch do
that? Scott Storch did that. I mean, it's a co-production between Scott Storch and Dr. Dre.
Huh.
Out of control.
I guess the co-production thing is fair because Justice League is a team. So.
50 in Mobb Deep. Out of control. Come on, let's be for real.
Scott Storch is on Out of Control?
Yeah.
Man, I have nothing to. But see, you know what?
Still DRE. Let's be for real.
When I hear those things, it makes me think of Dre in a different way, though. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, why is that? I mean, he's always had every producer had. Come on, you know how the production game work.
Yeah.
Let's be for real. You got to think of everyone that's ever produced records in a different way. If you're thinking about Dr. Dre in a different way,
but it's like to have somebody like a Scott Storch, though. That's some big help to have.
I mean, it could be. It could be. Then you got me by the Roots, Erykah Badu. I mean,
wait a minute, he did that too.
Yeah, Justice League don't have that, bro. Let's talk about his diversity. He did "Clap Back" by Ja Rule, one of Ja Rule's best records.
I like "Clap Back" a lot.
He did.
Hold on, let me go to their discography, man.
"Me, Myself, and I" by Beyonce. Come on, let's be for real.
Well, you could have kept that one, but hey, I got you.
Lean back.
Okay.
Oh, you want to go smooth on the smooth tip? "Let Me Love You."
Yeah, it's gonna be hard for Justice League to beat him.
All right, we got. We got to bring Leroy Green in here. Leroy Green wanted to step into the arena real quick.
Maybe like Music 3 by Justice League. Crazy beat.
Let's get Leroy Green up in here.
Let's go, man.
All right, what's good, brother? What's good, man? What's good?
Here now, so. I don't want to interrupt the producer thing. We got Luda, we got Cole, we got Ye. I'm gonna try to make it quick as possible. But with the producer thing, where y'all at? Where y'all want to start? Y'all let me know.
I want to start with you saying that Ludacris is better than J. Cole, and how and why.
I'm gonna be very respectful when I speak on J. Cole, and that's because I don't listen to his music. Again, I'm not going to comment on somebody who I just don't listen to because that would be, I don't know, you know what I mean? I don't listen to his music. I would say, is he a great MC? Yes. But I would say position in a game really matters. Again, disrespectfully, I should go get the Rock hat. But that is being the flagship artist of Rock Nation when it first comes out, and you end up on BP3 on tour, then on tour with Rihanna, then Rihanna and Drake. Then you have Lights Please, Who Dat, Workout, Can't Get Her, Nobody's Perfect, Jay-Z features, all on the radio, all on the videos.
You don't listen to his music?
Yeah, because these were on TV. These were on TV. And on radio, and after he's getting off stage with Jay, Drake, Rihanna, having access to Jay-Z at a point where he's trying to make Rock Nation a thing, It's different from Ludacris driving around in that Lexus with Incognito. Did I say it right, Mike?
Yeah.
It's different than him driving around in that car trying to get that popping. Now, Luda, he was on the radio in Atlanta too, but these are two totally different circumstances. It would be like the popular guy in your city trying to go compete with Drake when Drake's coming out with Lil Wayne. I'm sorry, it's not going to be an even playing field. It's just not. You know what I mean? And they, again, I want to be respectful to Cole because and trust me, I got the rock hat. I got the rock hat on word for y'all already know. I'm trying to be respectful, but that is a very powerful position to be in with very powerful people. It's not the same as Luda. Luda made back for the first time out his own pocket, out off his own strength, off his own hustle, out the back of his car. There's two different things.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. Yes. So that's I think Luda is better. I think if you put him in a contest of bars right now, I think Luda may have got him back in the day, 10 years ago or 15 years ago.
I see that too.
If you put Cole in the ring with Luda now, yeah, Cole's gonna get him. But Luda came out. We think lyricists because we're bar dudes. Ludacris is full artist. He's closer. He's closer to Missy and closer to Busta Rhymes. I have Busta Rhymes extremely high in my list. Busta Rhymes is between like 10 and 12, if not between 8 and 12. So I'm huge on Busta Rhymes. So Luda is in that same vein where it's not just the bars, even though he's giving you that. It's also the comedic value. It's also the energy. It's also the video, the video skills, music videos. It's a lot of things, and he's speaking to a younger generation. He wasn't trying to speak to us when we're riding around listening to Mobb Deep.
36 Chambers of the Super Chat says Leroy's point of view seems skewed by Jay. Just because someone doesn't get it out of the mud and hustle every time they come up doesn't discredit their skills and position in the game.
It doesn't.
And oranges.
Kanye is what? 36 Chambers. If you came out standing next to Jay-Z with a rock chain around your neck, with a movie with you on his albums, with Jay vouching for you, you're in a movie with Jay, Fade to Black. Jay's supporting you. Jay's on, doing everything to make you pop. I think that helps, bro. I think that helps.
I don't know. It's a very interesting perspective.
It helps being on the radio too.
I think it helps, man.
Very interesting perspective. So where you want to go next with it, Leroy? We talked about the Cole. I disagree with your take, but I respect it. I just don't think I haven't heard any bars Ludacris ever spit that were like the J. Cole verses, but that's neither here nor there. We can get into that later. Where you want to touch next? Where you want to go next?
Well, I mean, we were on the Ye thing, you know what I mean? I will say, just leaving the Luda situation, about 5 of those albums are pretty dope. But, Theater of the Mind, Ludaversal, the first 3, Chicken and Beer, like you were saying. But
do you still play those records? Do you still play those albums?
I still play. Well, yeah, actually, I do still play them. Yeah, and I'm no cap. Like, I still play them except for the second one. But the second one's fire. Well, word of mouth.
You use Spotify, use Apple Music.
I'm old school, bro. I'm putting the CD on.
Oh, okay. Well, damn. Well, shit.
I'm just in my own zone, man.
Okay. I respect that. So now let's get the Ye. Let's get the Ye. What you thinking about Ye, brother?
I want to be respectful. Again, the same way I'm going to be respectful for Cole, I'm going to be respectful for Ye. And I would just say, no, I don't think his music is the same. I don't think it's worse. I think the approach is different because he's trying to be he's not trying to be, he just is a performance artist. So when you're a performance artist, and this is why I don't like the aged well argument, right? Because Kanye is trying to be Kanye is a performance artist. So when he drops music, it's about that night. It's not about, is this going to age well 10 years later? No, it's about the night that you're in the arena. It's that night is important. The other years down the line, it don't make a difference. If you don't if you don't like his album 10 years later, it doesn't make a difference. The goal is that night, which I think is what artists should kind of be. I mean, we're about developing a new way of doing artists. Joe Budden just said the game is dead, hip hop is over, the labels are broke. So it's about developing something new. What Kanye is doing is, hey, it's about tonight or about this project that I dropped this week. The aged well argument, he's already proven that. We could play his first 5 albums right now and discuss the aged well argument.
Now it's about the moments. I think that's a great way of putting it.
Right.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah, so he talked about that in the Big Boy conversation. He was like, he wanted to treat his music like a movie, right? Like he didn't want to put it on the streaming platforms. Like he's like, you know, when a movie come out, you got to go to the theater and see it. And he was kind of talking about the listening experience. Me and Coop went to one back when the Donda rollout came out at Mercedes-Benz Stadium here in Atlanta. And I got what he was saying. He was like, yeah, let the music marinate. Let it be an experience with the folks, then put it out to the streaming platform. So I kind of see he's looking at a very cinematic type of way. You know what I mean? It's not the same traditional rollout. So I respect that. And I think it's different. I think a lot of people that's used to the same kind of A&R type rollout of records don't understand that it ain't a radio, a single drop, a Jay Leno, Dave Letterman.
We're in a different time.
We're in a different time now. And he's trying to do something different. So
he's trying to update the formula for the audience. And first, the audience has to take into this updated formula, but the artists themselves have to be able to put the audience in that position to take in something new as well.
If you're a great artist, an extremely talented artist, because Kanye is not the only one. There are some of you probably know some that are just not out there like that. You're probably they're ahead. They're about 10, 15 years ahead in their artistry. So this is why there's a disconnect, because people ain't there yet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you've
never been there before. Like,
yeah. Now, you know, I'm gonna be respectful to Kanye because of what he's already done, because we're both black men, but there's a lot of things I don't connect with Kanye on no more, respectfully, only because he said a lot of things. Now, nobody's perfect. I've said crazy things. Everyone has said crazy things. Nobody's perfect, but there's some things that he goes a little bit too far, and I'm just not rocking with that. Now, I know people can separate the music from the man. I respect that, but I personally attach the man with the music.
I got you. Okay.
I appreciate you checking in, Leroy.
Yeah.
What you thought about the last question? The Scott Storch Justice League, man. You got a thought on that?
I want to say shout out to the Justice League. I want to say apologize to the Justice League. You know what I mean? They know and I know, but I'll leave it at that. I apologize to the Justice League. For Atlanta, you know what I mean, for me in Atlanta. Now, but okay, so Scott Storch in the Justice League. I'm a huge fan of the Justice League, so you know, I got to give the edge to the Justice League. Scott Storch, he's also up there, but he's like, I don't know if he's more of like a team player, shall I say, like kind of mold his sound around what the artist would do, you know. But you're asking me who's better, in my opinion?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who's?
I guess you're saying the Justice League sets a culture where it's like Scott Storch builds around said artists,
right? Yeah, and you know, and I'm biased towards the Justice League because you know I think they're just awesome. You know what I mean? So
a lot of people are. So that'll be an interesting round.
Some of their beats when I rapped over a beat of theirs when I was down there, murdered it, slayed it. You know what I mean? So I'm a huge fan of the Justice League. You know?
I am too, but I got a shout out to the OG Scott Storch, man. I just think his music that he made, there's a big records. I mean, you got the Roots joint. I mean, you got Still DRE, you got Popping Them Things, you got Out of Control, you got Let's Ride, you got Me, Myself, and I, you got the joint with Mario. You got a lot of records, man. I mean, we saw the verses with him and Manny Fresh. It was ugly. It was ugly. You know what I mean? It was ugly.
I think Manny didn't pick the right records either, but
I mean, he picked all the records he had, bro.
no, he didn't. But yeah, I mean, it's a. I think the way that Manny makes music kind of worked against him too. All those synthesized sounds don't compete with live instrumentation.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, but only last thing I would say is the better argument. I have no issue with. I do have an issue, but I really have no issue with other people's better arguments because I get it. We're from the street. People are like, this person's better than that person. This person's better than that person. But I like to make arguments where it's just about that person. Like if I'm going to talk about Ludacris, let me stay on Ludacris about his music and what he does, because I can always name people that are better than everybody. You know what I mean?
Right.
When you start naming like Nas, well, then how many people are close to Nas out here? Like,
yeah, where are we gonna go from there?
Yeah, like, yeah. How do you even end up on a list with Nas? You can't. Like, it's like impossible. You know what I mean?
It's crazy. It's crazy. Well, Leroy Green, man, we appreciate you, man. Thank you for calling in, man. We've been giving people the link, and you the only one be stepping up to the challenge on the show, man. Is it hard? Tell folks the process of calling in. It's not hard, is it? Right?
It's not hard at all, but people got this thing, man. It ain't. Don't just make it where it's me just hopping on here. Get on here because let's say hip hop is dying, right? I don't think it is. We'll go off what my good friend I don't Joe Budden was saying. He said it's dead. He's talking about the business aspect of it, the politics labels, right? Let's say it is dying. Well, people should be calling in to give their opinion or their, of where the game is at, who is doing what sound is the sound, because if it's dying, we got to generate, we got to generate some activity, you know what I mean? So no, my opinion is no greater than anybody else's opinion. I'm just giving mine, you know what I mean? But people should hop on. According to hip hop, one of the pillars in the in this space. Come on now, what are we doing? Yeah, man.
I appreciate it, Leroy.
We appreciate you, Leroy. If we'll see you next week, right?
Yeah, hey, I'm here, man. If you need me, I'm here.
No doubt, bro. No doubt, bro. We appreciate you, man. Peace.
Yes, sir.
Well, yeah, man. I kind of had to roll at 8:30, man.
Well, we done.
Well, yeah, man. I think that was a great show, though. I mean, did we miss anything?
I think we hit everything, man. I can't think of anything that we didn't hit.
I think that everything else is gonna be covered, Wednesday. But yeah, we'll have that full
bracket. I mean, we didn't. I mean, we got it. Everybody needs to go to a2hh.beehiiv.com. Join up for the newsletter. That's the only way you're gonna be able to vote for the bracket. I suspect Scott Storch should beat the Justice League. No Tubi review this week. We'll resume that next week. I know everybody.
I saw a movie. Hold on. Before we go, I saw a preview for a movie called The Stepdaughter or something on Tubi. I guess she's. It was really weird because she went and found her. I guess her father. He had a whole nother family going on, but they act like it was all good. Like she showed up at the doorstep. He's like, hey, like they ain't seen each other forever. And he goes to his kids, his sons who are like 8, 9 years old. It's like, hey, you got a new stepsister. I'm like, what? New? What you mean?
How old was it? How old was the kid?
The daughter that pulled up, I feel like she had to be like, late teens, early 20s. And yeah, it was really weird. I think I might check it out though. But anyway, she wilded out and was like, I guess trying to get back at him and
send me the link. Send me the link and I'll watch it this week. And next week we'll resume the Tubi review.
The Tubi aficionado round over here.
But one before we go, you did have one closing thought on this Meek Mill academic situation?
Okay. Man, it's a lot to unpack there, and I think we're gonna cover a lot of that Wednesday. But I think that is just very disrespectful to the podcast space that Meek Mill feels like he should get a podcast deal and has never done a single episode. Doesn't have a show, doesn't have a concept for a show, doesn't have an audience for a show. Other than him tweeting, I need a podcast deal because I got a lot to say. I would have liked for him to be like, you know what? I got a lot to say. I'm about to start a podcast. But academics pulled his card, offered him $1 million for one season. And at that point, what can you really say? He said, oh, no, it ain't like that. I'm not talking about that kind of deal. I don't know what he meant after that, but you literally said in your tweet, I want a podcast deal. Did he not say that?
He did say
and you
that.
got an offer, and you got an offer that no one's going to match. You know how like on Shark Tank, when someone gives too good of an offer, and Mark Cuban and we're like, yeah, you should take that one because I'm not going to match that. No smart business person is going to invest in a podcast over $1 million, like academics were saying that he was going to do, for somebody who does not have a podcast, has never done a podcast, does not have a proof of concept, and does not have an audience for that podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
This
yo,
nigga
man.
Meek, man.
Hey man, it's a lot of sucker shit going on, B. And we're gonna say sucker free in 2024. Again, we got a mission here. Make sure you go to a2hh.beehive.com. We're gonna have some great experiences. The Pete Rock interview is dropping soon. Producer,
hopefully we can preview that on Wednesday. That'll be dope.
Preview that on Wednesday. We'll have all the graphics loaded up. And yeah, man. So next week, Tubi review, come back, producer contest. The most important thing you can do. We live on IG too. We had like 100 people watching on IG.
Oh, word.
So shout out to IG. We're gonna be on X next week, Twitter, X, whatever you call it. We might stream on this Facebook. This producer thing is gonna be big, so we might need to be on all the platforms next week. But all right, bro. Peace.
Great stuff, man.
All right,
I'll see you guys later. Appreciate y'all checking in. Hit like and subscribe. Y'all already know what it is. We will see you Wednesday. Mike D and Coop will be here Wednesday. Appreciate you, Ron, over here in the Mike Check Mondays. We're gonna get that Beastie Boys show going and that Gang Star show going.
All right, man. Peace.
Yes, sir.